to go get a link for the chat, I believe. Let's see. Nope, no, I don't. All right, we'll start it right there then. We're good. All right, so I'm going to do my stories live this evening. Give me just a second. All right, so the first story up that we're going to talk about, let's change this over. We can go back to the chat if somebody actually decides to log in. So we'll do that in just a second. In the meantime, in between time, let's get this thing popping. So I was on the internet just browsing around. I think I was actually on Facebook. No, I wasn't on Facebook. I was on the internet when I found this story. And I could not believe the nerve of some people. Okay? Now people gonna be looking at you funny if you got kids. And I'm gonna show you why. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. People are now disguising their Lunchables. They're using their Lunchables as a way to smuggle drugs across state lines, maybe, or across the country. I have no idea, but this is just ridiculous. Now, let's take a look at this here. There you have it. So you see the police hat, you see the Lunchable box, and then you see the packages here. And apparently they also got a gun. I do not know about this. This is just too much. Let's check back with the chat and see what y'all have to say. Oh my goodness. Hey, Sherrill. Hey, girl. So did you see that first part of the story? Can you believe they smuggling drugs in the daggone Lunchable boxes now? Isn't that something? So yeah, that's something else. I'm gonna change the name of this chat because I'm pretty sure. The name of this video, because I'm sure it still says Wendy Williams canceled. So give me just a second. I know that is crazy, right? Let me see. How do I know how to change up here? Here we go. Yeah. I don't understand why if you're, and I'm gonna tell you the story in just a second, but why if you're doing something like transporting illegal drugs like bricks anywhere, would you be speeding and changing lanes and all that stuff? Now they could be lying though, because you know the police will lie on your tail if they have a chance to. So I don't know if they really had, and this is Ohio we talking about too. So I don't know if they really had probable cause to pull them over or not, because they'll say they did and don't. So I don't know about this. All right, we went ahead and changed that. I'll change the tags a little later. So let's go back to the rest of this Lunchable story. As you can see here, these are the Lunchables packs. And as you can see down below, those are the packages that are in there. Once again, I'd have to see a video or something to see if this person really was pulled over for probable cause, because I know if it was me, not that I'm a criminal, but, and let me read the story. Here we go. This is how we'll do it. Highway Patrol said the troopers pulled over the rented 2018 Ford F-50 for speeding and making unsafe lane changes on the Ohio Turnpike in Wood County. The driver was found to be carrying a loaded .380 handgun, and a search of the vehicle discovered 2 boxes of Lunchables were actually concealing more than 4 pounds of cocaine. The driver and his passenger were booked into the Wood County Jail on first-degree felony charges of possession and trafficking in cocaine. Now, I just refuse to believe that you're making illegal lane changes and doing all of that with this stuff in the car, even if it is in a Lunchables pack. I'm sorry. There's no excuse in the world for it. So I don't buy personally that they were doing all of that. Police in Ohio are, they might as well be NYPD. Let's just put it like that. It's too many unconstants for me there. I mean, but you do have some dumb criminals though. I mean, the guys that called the police on themselves, they got so zooted up on marijuana that they were paranoid, and they called the police on themselves. They said, we know you guys are following us. We're just ready to give up." They were like, "Oh, really? Where are you at?" So yeah, criminals are dumb, but I'd like to follow up on this case and see if we can find out whether or not they really had probable cause. I'd love to see a video, because I really doubt if you're a criminal and you have access to that much drugs and you went that far to conceal it, that you'd be out here speeding and making illegal lane changes. But that's just my opinion. Right, say no. Just say no. That's what I'm saying. Selling it and doing it. Miss Nancy Reagan. All right. Now I'm going to go to my next story. And this one tripped me out. I just couldn't believe. I don't know anybody that would. I'd rather go to a courthouse. So this couple actually got married in a very strange place. Let's take a look.
Who says you can't get everything at Walmart?
Now that they finally met each other, we're gathered here today to celebrate one of life's greatest moments, joining of two hearts, and to give recognition to the worth and the beauty of your love. And to also add our best wishes as a group of people, whether we're workers, family, friends, and we shall unite this couple today in marriage, remembering this is more than just an act of convenience. It is a commitment to one another in loyalty and your love. And today we have come together to witness the joining of these two lives for whom...
I'm sorry, I can't. Free flowers. I know that's right. How? Come on. I understand you wanting to have a special day, but Walmart? Come on, son. Who does that? Really? So when you're looking up old videos in the future of Walmart and the ratchet people, your wedding comes up with all the fighting and the little crazy people that be in. That's just too ghetto for me. I can't. Yeah. I mean, like, really? All right, we can move on from that because I got something a little creepy. Now, I saw this on, I think it was World Star today, and it was interesting to me because of the background music, and you'll see it in a second. But this particular show, or this particular news clip, it kind of resonates with me because as long as I've been alive, I've heard that, television programming, it programs you. It gets you ready for things that are to come. So if you pay attention to the background music, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Give me just a second here.
It actually eats holes in the animal's brain, and that's why this term zombie came up in Minnesota, because the deer, they lose all fear of humans, they're lethargic, they salivate. It's a disease that you can't get rid of. There's no cure so far, and so as long as you have deer on the landscape, if it continues to spread from animal to animal, then you'll probably pick up more. Until we find a silver bullet, We just want to control the spread of the disease to the best of our ability. And so hunting does that by removing some of those animals, and that's what controls populations.
Now, in that particular story, I don't know if you watch The Walking Dead, but I do. And programs under, oh, I mean, that really scares me because I really feel like they came out with this whole season of The Walking Dead to prepare us for the zombie dead. Like, Bambi finna come get us now or what? Like, what's the deal? And it's a believable story. I don't know if that's real or not. No more, exactly. Exactly. You gonna have to, no more deer meat. No more none of that. Like, they preparing us for something? Cuz they started off real good with the Walking Dead thing, and right now that show is leading into kind of a conspiracy. If you watch the like the after shows after Rick died, I don't know if you watch or not, but after Rick died, when he came on, he was saying that he won't be back to that show, but that he's going to be in another kind of a follow up show that's going to be kind of like a controlled experiment, is what it's like. It's leading toward something like a controlled experiment. So, like later on, maybe they're going to find out that, they were just part of some huge experiment or something like that. So, I mean, then, you hear this and it sounds almost exactly like the storyline. Like, that's crazy. Your children watch, yeah. I didn't got hooked to it somehow. Somebody got me to watching it and I can't stop. So I really hate it. And now I'm gonna watch it even more because I'm like, okay, I need to take notes. In case we running around here like zombie deer chasing after us, etc. That's gonna be too much. But now there is a serious story that I have here, and I want to move on to this. It's a little bit longer, but I've watched it in its entirety, and I have a huge opinion on this and this video actually happened, I believe it was like 5 years ago. But I think that it's relevant for what we see today in the media. So give me just a second. Let me go ahead and play this.
Tom 3 is out, physical fight with his traffic stop, and you can show me on tape. Copy. All units, Central, emergency traffic only, 1134. Bay Grade, I'm in room. Top 1, where's he at?
back of my truck is full of groceries. Can someone call my wife to come get it?
Full of what?
Groceries. I just come from the grocery store.
Okay.
Steve 11 to 4, Baker 8.
What's going on?
You
What
just
happened?
beat the shit out of me. He turned on the lights. I pulled over. I got out of the truck. He started yelling to get back in the truck. And I went, what the hell? And the next thing I know, here we are.
Huh.
He started pushing me up against the truck, and I resisted a little bit.
And I went on from there, and that's probably what I saw. I was going southbound, and I didn't know it was you, of course.
Well, no.
I heard him make a traffic stop, but I was going southbound, heading back to Medford, and I saw you guys struggling back behind there, so.
Hey,
Can't really tell how much longer it has to go.
Yeah, can you see if somebody calls Judy? I got all the groceries from the grocery store.
Oh, yeah. He's talking to the mom. Figure out what they're supposed to do, and we'll make sure that...
What? Did you say why you stopped me?
I didn't hear. Like I said, all I heard was the traffic. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Jesus Christ.
Did you hear him tell you to get back in the car or anything?
I sure did, but I'm going, it's broad daylight. I'm a retired deputy sheriff from this county.
Yeah, he doesn't know that, though. He's a new guy.
Well, that's why I told
You ever
him.
met him? Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah,
My head is bleeding, isn't it?
You're scratched, but you're not bleeding, so. Yeah, no matter what, we'll make sure that everything...
That's an experience of a lifetime.
I can imagine. I guess it's bizarre being on the opposite end there. Surreal, I would think. It's probably what it is.
29 years. I've never treated anybody like that.
Well, I don't know him very
It's
well,
like
but...
I got out of the truck with a fucking gun. I mean...
Yeah. But he doesn't know, and I don't know, I can't... that wouldn't have happened between you and I, of course. You know that, so... the guy doesn't know yet, and...
Yeah.
He's kind of out here, so...
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, now you're going to get everybody to do the look-see thing, so...
Oh, well.
Well, I want to make sure that your stuff gets taken care of now.
Yeah, everything. I was trying to get my driver's license out. Everything was in that packet. Credit card.
Yeah,
All right, so to go back and just to get the gist of this, because it goes a little while longer, the officer comes and lets him back out of the truck, and they take him to the back of his truck, where they bring out the first aid kit and they give him bandages and et cetera, et cetera. And this particular video struck me because even though it was years ago, it was about 5 years ago, I believe. That officer was fired, and he was fired because the gentleman that he pulled over was a deputy in that same county for almost 30 years. And we don't know what happened before, why he was pulled over. But the fact that the gentleman got out of his car and the officer told him to get back in his car, and he did not. He didn't. And so it kind of leads me to believe that, that there's kind of a thing going on. So was he let go because he was a previous officer in that area? Was he let go because he really did nothing wrong? I mean, do you see how this kind of doesn't jive with the law, period? Okay, you pulled the man over. You asked him to stay in his car, and he did not. And he felt like he shouldn't have had to. And I agree with him. I don't think that there was any reason to attack this man. But in the same token, if you've gotten to the point where you need to hustle him down to the ground and arrest him. But once you find out he was a police officer, well, we can just let him go. Mm. Yeah, that kind of rubs me the wrong way because as of today, if that was me, I'm not a previous officer. I've never been an officer. Um, and so if I'm pulled over for no reason, which I'm assuming this gentleman was, otherwise, I think that it would have gone differently. If he had broken a law, they would have kept him. So I really don't feel like he did. So if I would have been pulled over myself without having broken a law, and I step out of my vehicle like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong? And the officer wrestles me to the ground and handcuffs me and puts me in the back of the car, I'm going to jail. Like, there's just no other, they're not going to go, you know what? Misunderstanding, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can hit the road. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, that really sparked some interest in me. And he's an older gentleman too. He shouldn't have been fired though. I don't feel like he should have been fired. Um, well, and that's another part of kind of the good old boy system because that's what they are. They as police officers, I have police officers in my family, so I understand their struggle and they do stick together. That gentleman was a new officer and he did not know that guy had been working there for years and had retired from there. That was one of his fellow officers, and the fellow officer that got dragged to the ground, was friends probably with everybody. If you saw the background, he lived in some kind of rural town somewhere. So to me, just him not knowing that that was his brother in blue, that was enough for him to get fired. Because if he'll do that and this is the argument that the retired gentleman is going to make. If he'll do that to me and I really haven't done anything, imagine what he's doing to people out here that maybe did a little something, I mean, I do view what he did as kind of gung-ho. I think that he's in a small town. He was looking for action. He hadn't found any. And so, he was going to use I said, get back in your car as an excuse to fuel his own fire. And I really think that's what he did. He was looking for action and he just looked for it in the wrong place. And so action found him in the form of an unemployment line. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, I do feel like he should have been let go because it was uncalled for. This is an old guy, and for him to just, get out of the car. And I heard what he was saying. It wasn't like he was being menacing or he was just like, hey, why? For what? Why do I need to get back in the car? I haven't done anything. I'm going to show you my ID. What's wrong with that? I just don't see it. And I've seen it other times. There was a lady on the highway, I think in North Carolina, and she kept telling the officer, it was a black lady, and her husband, I think, was on the other passenger side. And she kept telling the officer, you pulled me over for no reason. And now she complied with everything he asked. When he asked for a driver's license, she gave it. Everything, she gave it. But he went from her side to the husband's side, and she kept repeating that she was going to report him. And I guess she said it one too many times, and he told her to get out of the car, and she complied. He brought her to the back of the van or whatever and wrestled her down, man. It was insane. And it was all on the cruiser video. And it was an older lady too. I'm not super older. She probably maybe about 5 or 10 years older than I am. So, but he wrestled her to the ground or threw her on the car and cuffed her. And yeah, she ended up suing and she won. So I think that also that particular video we just watched could have opened that department up to a lawsuit. But I think that that's another thing that might have been going on in the background as well. I'm not going to sue y'all, but y'all need to fire him. And that's a reasonable request coming from somebody that retired from that county. See what he did to me. We all know each other here. I could sue. I'm not going to. Just let him go. And I think that's what happened. So that's really all I had for this evening. I hadn't planned on sticking around too long. So I appreciate you, Sherrill, for joining me again today. That's that's awesome. I appreciate it. Did you have any questions you want to ask? Did you want to say anything? Or are you still on? I wonder who the other person. There's another person on here watching too. No? Okay. Well, there's a lag, so I'm trying to wait to see if that part came through. Oh, yes, thank you. All right. Well, you have a good night. Enjoy your evening, and I'll be back tomorrow. My goodness, how many more days do I have? 19th through to what is this? 28th. So 11 days left. Oh my goodness. I'm going to come up with some kind of stories or something for these last 11 days. I said I was going to do it every day for a month, and I got to keep my word. So I'm going to do it. So I appreciate you joining in. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. And don't forget, be nice to someone who is nice to you.